Hi everybody, my name is Zoe Stone. I'm with Group 4, and for our podcast episode this week, under the series of things that need to change in the world, we're going to be talking about climate change or global warming. In this first episode, I'm going to discuss what climate change is and steps we can do in our everyday life to slow it down. I'm not sure about you guys, but I grew up in Arizona. Anyone who's from California or Nevada, any of the Southwest states, maybe you've noticed that over the years, it seems to be getting warmer and warmer every single year. I have noticed that since I began living in Arizona, the summers were hot, but they weren't brutally hot like they are now. In recent years, Arizona has been hitting new record highs every single year. I've also noticed that in the wintertime around Christmas, it just doesn't feel cold. It doesn't feel like Christmas should. And any other states where it does snow normally, you might have noticed that maybe it's not snowing quite as much anymore. And that is because of global warming or climate change. Global warming is described as the planet struggling to keep up with our demand of natural resources. It's also because the ozone layer is being depleted due to emissions that are put out by methods of transportation. All of the toxic air and pollutions that we're putting out into the earth from cars, buses, etc. is slowly depleting the ozone layer, which are making the rays of sun stronger as they get to earth. This is why over time, especially in recent years, the earth has been heating up at an exponential amount. One of the reasons that climate change is a topic that more people should be talking about is something you might have never expected. Because the earth is heating up, all the glaciers up north and down south are slowly melting, which in turn is going to end up releasing tons of bacteria that were once extinct. According to theguardian.com, there's so much bacteria that's going to be released into the environment. Some of them are going to be beneficial, but we actually do not know the extent to how dangerous this bacteria could be. Some things that could potentially start happening more and more in the future is drought and wildfires because of the amount of intense heat that's going to be coming from the sun back to Earth. Some scientists estimate that within the next 80 years, some places on Earth won't even be habitable anymore because of global warming and climate change. Unfortunately, this topic is looked at as a political topic, which I do not believe that it should be because this is something that we should all be concerned about, especially with how much research has come out in recent years. Now, I know that sounds scary, but here are some things that we can do in our every day-to-day life to slowly decrease the rate of climate change. First of all, instead of using a dryer every time you dry your clothes, try to air dry them. Turn off lights as much as you can to conserve energy. Don't use as much water, only use it when you need it. Same with air conditioning, heating, turn it off when you leave the house. Small things like that can help us slow down the rate of climate change. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something new in this first episode of my podcast. I'm going to be handing it over to my partner Javian for the second part of our podcast.